We've all seen it before, but what exactly is it, and how do you get one? In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at one of the most recognizable features of MMA fighters, the cauliflower ear. Fighters in almost every combat sport have them, from boxing and wrestling to judo and MMA. But what actually is it? What causes it? And why do fighters wear them proudly? Let's get into it. First things first. The cauliflower ear is a deformity of the outer ear that results in an almost universal appearance among combat sports athletes. This is especially true of those who compete in full-contact fighting competitions or have done so for many years. Now, this isn't exclusive to fighting sports. People who work in certain industries like coal mining can also develop them. But in the world of fighting sports, you'll be hard-pressed to find a fighter without one. And there are some pretty interesting reasons behind this. Let's start with what the cauliflower ear actually is. In simple terms, it's an ear that's been repeatedly traumatized by blows. These constant impacts cause blood to fill up inside the ear, which causes the cartilage to swell. Over time, if this blood isn't drained out, it hardens and becomes part of the tissue, resulting in a permanent deformity. But it's more than just a cosmetic issue. It can affect hearing and balance as well. So how do you treat it? Well, the key is to drain the blood out of the ear as soon as possible. To do this, a doctor will make an incision behind the ear to release the blood and then close the wound. This is obviously painful, but it's important to do as soon as possible after the injury to prevent it from hardening into a permanent deformity. Now, depending on the severity of the injury, the doctor may also need to remove some of the damaged cartilage. And in some cases, surgery may be required to reshape the ear. But here's the thing. Despite the pain and the risk of permanent damage, many fighters actually see the cauliflower ear as a badge of honor. It's a sign that they paid their dues to the sport and have put in the hard work over many years. But why is this? Why would someone want something that's painful and disfiguring? Well, it comes down to the nature of fighting sports. They're brutal by their very nature and require a high degree of pain tolerance. Fighters train for years to be able to endure the pain of being hit and to come back swinging. The cauliflower ear is just one of the many physical manifestations of this pain, and it's often seen as a sign of toughness. It's a way of showing that you've been in the trenches and come out the other side. It's a reminder of the countless hours spent training and competing. And it's a symbol of the dedication and sacrifice required to succeed in a fighting sport. The cauliflower ear is a testament to the fighter's commitment to their craft. It's a visible representation of the hard work and discipline they've put in over the years. For many fighters, it's a source of pride, and one of the things that sets them apart from everyone else. Now, if you're new to watching MMA, you might be wondering why they don't just wear headgear to prevent cauliflower ear. But here's the thing. Headgear can actually do more harm than good. When you wear headgear, you're less likely to feel pain when you get hit. This might sound like a good thing, but it can actually lead to more injuries. Without the protection of headgear, fighters learn to move their head to avoid getting hit. But with headgear on, they're more likely to stay in one place and eat more punches. This can lead to more serious injuries like concussions. That's why most fighters don't wear headgear during training or competition. They rely on their own skills and reactions to avoid getting injured. Now, there are some cases where headgear is used. For example, in boxing, amateur bouts allow for the use of headgear to reduce the risk of injury. But professional boxing does not allow it because it can lead to more serious injuries. Headgear is also sometimes used in MMA, but it's not common. Some organizations allow for the use of headgear in lower weight classes, but it's not allowed in the UFC ultimately. It's up to the individual fighter to decide whether or not they want to wear headgear. Some fighters believe that it gives them an advantage, while others think it hinders their movement and makes them more vulnerable. But what about those fighters who don't have cauliflower ears? Surely they must have some sort of advantage over their opponents who do, right? Well, maybe. But it's not necessarily an advantage in terms of skill or technique. For example, a fighter like Israel Adesanya has a very distinctive fighting style that doesn't rely on powerful striking. Instead, he uses a combination of movement, precision, and power to keep his opponents at bay. On the other hand, a fighter like Francis Ngannou relies on his incredible knockout power to end fights quickly. Neither of these styles is better or worse than the other. They're just different, and neither of them necessarily requires a cauliflower ear. What's more, some fighters actually choose to remove their cauliflower ears. This is usually done for cosmetic reasons or to improve hearing and balance. But it's not common for fighters to remove their cauliflower ears specifically to gain an advantage over their opponents. After all, it's not like one is going to give you super hearing or make you a master of judo. And let's not forget that there are plenty of successful fighters who do have cauliflower ears. So ultimately, it's not the presence or absence of a cauliflower ear that determines a fighter's success. It's their skill, technique, and determination. When it comes to the question of whether or not fighters should wear headgear, there's no easy answer. It's a controversial topic with valid arguments on both sides. Some fighters swear by it, while others wouldn't dream of stepping foot in the ring with it. Ultimately, it's a personal decision that each fighter must make for themselves. But one thing is for sure, the debate is far from over. As the sport of MMA continues to evolve, so too will the equipment and safety protocols. And the role of headgear will continue to be hotly debated among fighters, coaches, and fans alike. But what do you think? Should fighters wear headgear to prevent cauliflower ear? Or is it just part of the game? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great videos on fighting arts and combat sports. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.